I wish you all the best. Maybe when we...
Let it out. Slowly. And when the brain dies, Mr. Weber, well...
Or I blow your bleeding spine in two.
Just like... This might be the end of the road for me. But you do... There it is.
The film opens with Jonathan, a former CIA operative who has left that life behind. His quiet routine is interrupted when his old associate Alexander reaches out, asking for help with a sensitive pickup. Although Alexander has a trusted subordinate, Max, the assignment is too critical to risk, so Jonathan is brought in. Jonathan and Max travel to a remote farmhouse to retrieve the package, but things go wrong almost immediately. They're ambushed by a group of killers. Jonathan manages to survive, escaping with both the package and the elderly woman living there. When he reports back, Alexander quickly realizes the job is tied to something far more dangerous than expected. Concerned, Alexander dismisses Max and asks Jonathan to personally deliver the package to a client in Germany for extra pay. Jonathan agrees, but before leaving, he hands Alexander a note revealing a disturbing suspicion. Max is connected to the attackers. Jonathan had noticed Max's suspicious calm during the ambush and recognized the leader of the hit squad as someone he'd previously seen with him. Alexander reacts fast and sends men to capture Max, but Max is already one step ahead. Realizing he's been exposed, he storms into Alexander's villa and kills him. Meanwhile, Jonathan travels to Berlin to complete the delivery. He contacts the intended recipient, Van Aken, but instead speaks with his wife, Melody, who claims her husband is out of the country. She agrees to receive the package and arranges a meeting at a train station. However, Jonathan doesn't trust the situation and hands over a fake package instead. His caution proves justified. Soon after, he's captured by a hitman demanding the real package. It becomes clear Melody realized the deception and sent people after him. Jonathan is forced to return to retrieve the real package, but he turns the situation to his advantage and escapes again, revealing that he had prepared yet another faked at the same time. Max arrives in Berlin searching for Jonathan, only to encounter another assassin also on the hunt. The situation grows increasingly chaotic as multiple players converge. Jonathan eventually confronts Melody at her estate and discovers she is far more involved than she first appeared. After tension-filled exchanges, she reveals the truth. Her husband, Van Aken, is secretly involved in the development and trafficking of biological weapons. Even worse, he is backed by Jared, a corrupt CIA division head. The package itself contains evidence tied to a plane crash, one that killed a man named Steven, who had uncovered the conspiracy. Steven had been in love with Melody and was trying to expose Van Aken and Jared while helping Melody and her daughter escape. Before he could succeed, his plane was destroyed. Melody had hired Alexander to retrieve the plane's black box, hoping to use the evidence as leverage against her husband. But the operation spiraled out of control when Max was bribed to steal the package, leading to betrayal and bloodshed. Now fully aware of the truth, Jonathan sympathizes with Melody and her daughter. He decides to help them escape, sending them to safety in Norway while he handles the remaining threats. He also secures a backup of the black box recording and passes it to a trusted CIA contact. Determined to end the situation, Jonathan returns to confront Van Aken. Along the way, he temporarily teams up with Max to infiltrate the heavily guarded estate, knowing full well that betrayal is inevitable. Sure enough, Max tries to turn on him, but Jonathan had already anticipated this and disarmed him earlier. When Jonathan finally faces Van Aken, the man tries to buy his way out, offering millions in exchange for control over Melody and her daughter. Instead of negotiating, Jonathan plays the black box recording, exposing that the plane crash was no accident. It was deliberately destroyed. With the truth revealed, Jonathan warns Van Aken to leave Melody and her daughter alone or face consequences. But the danger isn't over. Behind the scenes, Jared moves to eliminate Van Aken to cover his tracks, tying up loose ends. Days later, in Norway, another hit squad tracks down Melody and her daughter. Just as they're about to be killed, Jonathan intervenes and rescues them once again, relocating them to a safer location. With Melody safe, Jonathan turns his attention to the final threats, Max and Jared. He arranges a meeting with Jared in Poland, carefully scouting the area and identifying hidden snipers. When they meet, Jared demands the evidence, revealing he has already recovered a copy through his network inside the CIA. That moment, Jonathan realizes the scale of corruption he's dealing with. Taking down the entire system won't be easy, but he's ready to start, one target at a time.